Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Team Disappoint. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Tim.
So, what brings us here together on this wonderful day after we just put out a motherfucking video?
I decided to do a contest a couple of days ago.
Without my consent?
Well, it wasn't your money, so... Anyway, I decided to put up a contest because I had a very important question that I needed to be answered. Daniel, what was that question?
I was going to ask you what the question was, because I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. Well,
I didn't even really read the results, I just kind of threw a dart and it happened to be the same one you wanted.
Okay. Anyway, the question that I wanted answered was, why is Gabe Newell afraid of the word, or the number 3?
Penis.
What? No.
Equals 3.
That's not a penis.
Yes, it is. Anyway.
No.
Anyway, so,
you just basically called Ray William Johnson a dick.
Yes!
And we can throw him in the tag now.
Alrighty. So anyway, without further ado.
Yes.
Our winner, we searched long and hard and short and easy to find our wonderful winner. I'm going to actually have Tim say the name because I can't even begin to try and pronounce this.
Oh, you bastard. His name is Macaluso, I think. I think that's how you say it. But
probably.
Yeah.
But anyway, congratulations!
Yes, he has won a copy of Borderlands from us, as the prize was any Steam game of up to $10 in value. And he wisely chose Borderlands, which is a really good game.
Alright, anyway, so in this video we're going to be reading his explanation for why El Gabo has a problem with the number trace. Anyway, here we go. You ready, Tim?
Yes, I am ready. Yeah.
You ready? Ready?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. That's why we're doing this, because I am ready.
Gather around, amigos! You're playing games of Just Cause 2, Bad Rats, and Super Meat Boy at amazing prices, giving all your hard-earned money to Gabe Newell. I can't decide on an accent. Waiting for the eventual release of Half-Life Episode 3, or Half-Life 2 Episode 3. But, do you know the story, in all capital letters, of Gabe Newell? And why the number 3 is not an easy number for him to come to terms with? Question mark. Well, put up a seat by the fire, and I will tell you the tale of Gabe Newell!
Okay, so we're gonna do something a little interesting, since the person who actually submitted this did something interesting. He included illustrations and background music. Now, fortunately, the background music is on YouTube, and that would be the link number 1 that is below this video here in the in the description there, and you'll want to right-click that and open a new tab or new window or whatever it is you kids do these days.
And
just enjoy the music while you listen to the story.
Rango! It's from Rango.
Right.
Anyway, illustration number 1. In the untamed wilds of the West, Rico, later known by his valve name as Gabe Newell, was born in a large plantation of land. The nearest town was only 3 miles away. I'm starting to see a pattern here, Tim. 3 miles away, and his family rarely visited there. The plantation had barely any crops, and it's a pretty awful plantation, Tim. Of course. But his family made do best they could. His family consisted of himself, his mother, his father, and his sister. It seems like our rule of 3 has been broken, Tim. There were a poor yet happy family, and matters of the rest of the West were no concern of theirs. Or at least they were happy. One morning, a rather nasty dust storm flew past their house. Wow, how did we both do that at the same time?
Because it was prompted, basically.
At least a good long while. That is a very accurate measurement of time. When it was past, the area was thick with dust in the air, much like my bedroom. You can't see 10 feet in front of you while outside, much like Tim's bedroom. El Papa? What is that sound? Said little Rico. It sounds like birds. Possibly. Ellipses. Ravens? Question mark. He replied. He was also a Chinaman working on the railroad. Slightly confused. Ain't no ravens usually around these parts in the west. And now French.
Yeah,
The
you're an equal opportunity racist. I'm okay with this.
The cawing of the ravens got louder, and suddenly the doors flew open! Open! The family turned in shock to see a shadowy figure standing there at the door. Humanoid in appearance, because he wasn't human, question mark, with the features of a raven. Answered my own question. Wearing a wide-brimmed hat and long flowing black poncho, as ravens are apt to do. Illustration number dos!
To announce the illustration.
I'm doing it anyway, so suck my dick.
Okay.
He never looked up, just lifted an odd-looking revolver at the speed unmatched by even the best gunman in the West. That must mean he's the best gunman in the West. He fired his gun. Oh! Bang! He shot Rico's mother. Dos! Bang! He shot Rico's poor father. Tres! Click. I mean, bang! He shot Rico's beloved sister, because apparently he didn't care about his mother and father, but god damn it did he love his sister.
Ew.
Well, I mean, it was the West. It was a simpler time. Like 3 weeks ago. Probably.
3?
Again, you know, Tim, I'm seeing a pattern. Rico stood there, misspelled there, in shock, as the man said nothing else. Lowered his gun, and I assume holstered it because the dust would really fuck up the barrels. Disappeared out into the dust. Mommy! Puppy! Clementine! 3. Rico shouted through tears. He ran over to their lifeless bodies. Wake up, Papa! Wake up, Mama! Wake up, Clementine! Wake up! I mean, they were lifeless bodies, but clearly, wake up. But they did not wake up, Tim. About this time, Rico swore vengeance against the men that destroyed everything he cared about. He would abandon his home on the plantation, because, you know, I mean, he's like fucking like 8. How's he gonna do a plantation plan? And searched every inch of the West for his killer. I can only imagine him carrying one of those like big afro combs like they did in Spaceballs. We ain't found shit! As he grew, he became stronger and faster! Better than he was before. We can rebuild him! I mean, wait, hold on, wrong script. And he would begin to run into dust storms when he saw them in hopes of finding the killer. That seems like a very illogical plan. Throughout his search, he would eventually find other families that suffered the same fate. And before long, he had the name to aid him in his search. Tim, are you ready for this?
Okay, tell me the name.
Like, audience, I hope you're fucking sitting down. This name's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Revolver! let me do that again. Hold on.
Okay.
Revolver! Because you get it, like 3 and revolver. Revolver! I'm seeing a pattern here, Tim. I think I'm onto something.
You know, I think I might be missing it. I don't know.
Oh shit. Okay, well let's see if we can nail this pattern down.
Okay.
Named for his tendency to always kill in threes. Now it makes sense. Usually leaving only one survivor. How many family of 4s were there in the West? Like, I'm fairly certain many of them were like, you know, maybe had lots of kids so they'd have, you know, free slave labor. Or slaves.
Not in this now. No, apparently not here.
Well, apparently they were very open-minded and forward-thinking Western cowboys. Whether this was some cruel joke or a way of the most famous killer in the West was unclear. He's the most famous killer in the West, yet he had to search around the entire West to find his name. But that was unclear. But what was clear is that he had to be stopped. And Rico was the one to do it! Rico! He came up with a plan! It wasn't one that sat right with him, but it was the only way that he could see. He would lure Revolver into a trap.
I feel like we need Esteban here just to play a little guitar every time he says Revolver. Like,
I wish I knew a Mexican who played guitar named Esteban. With the help of the sheriff from the nearby town, he got 3 criminals who were slated to be executed and brought them into the house. Not more than 3 miles from town. Jesus Christ, they're laying the 3 on heavy. Rico kept the prisoners inside the house. They would work as servants in exchange for life. And then he waited. And waited. And waited. I'm not making this up. He actually wrote that many times.
I know.
And waited. Days went by. Months went by. I'm starting to think that there actually is no 3-volver, and this was all an incredibly elaborate scheme to have 3 free servants. And then it happened. An intense an intense dust storm blew in. Once it settled, the eerie but familiar sound of the birds could be heard again. Through the thick cloud of— oh my god! I lost my place! Stupid dogs. Yes, I found it again. The eerie but familiar sound of birds could be heard again through the thick cloud of dust. His plan had worked. So far. Soon, the raven-like figure stood in the door yet again. 3-volver! Wasted no time and held his gun up to one of the prisoners. He stopped. Gun pointed at the prisoner, who was sitting in his chair. The prisoner had a bullet through his head.
Fat lot of good that fucking working for life was.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Gabe Newell, don't piss the fucker off. You work as a servant for 3 months, bullet in the head. 3-volver! Looked at the other 2 and saw that they too had been shot. His eyes could be seen for the first time as he opened them wide in shock. Then, he heard someone cock a gun. And in the blink of an eye, Rico had shot 3-volver in the back of the head. 3-volver fell onto the floor. Upon impact, 3-volver exploded into several dead ravens. Rico looked upon his victory. Shut the fuck up, they're dead.
They don't make any noises.
Rico looked upon his victory. He had gotten revenge. Finally. Mama. He's older now. Papa.
Is he older than he actually is now?
Dear sister. He's also now actually Spanish. This was for you. He picked up the odd-looking revolver. Kept it as his prize. He was the first to get a good long look at the gun itself, too. Image number trace. Trace. I'm seeing a pattern.
I'm still missing it. You're gonna have to fill me in later when we're done recording.
Wanting no accolades from the rest of the civilians in the West, he left without saying a word to anyone. Eventually they would find that 3-volver had been defeated. But by then, Rico had been long gone. Rico would go to leave his Wild West behind and integrate into normal society. He would eat more than he ever did before, so he would become unrecognizable, because clearly he planned that shit. I love you, Gabe. He started Valve and launched Steam to further hide who he was, going so far to change his name to Gabe Newell, because, you know,
that's such a common name.
Because of 3-volver! I really want to stop saying that now. He had become adverse to anything that came in threes. He believes it to be cursed. That's why Episode 3 has not come out yet. That's why Half-Life 3 has not yet come out. That's why Just Cause 4 website has registered not be Just Cause 3. That made no sense to me. 1 day instead of 3 day. He hoped to rid this demon and give the people what they want. There is one small reminder of his past. A memento of sorts. As a reminder to not completely forget who he was. He developed the Steam logo in a way that only he could recognize. So, amigos. The next time you wave a fist in anger at not having Half-Life 3 yet, remember the sacrifices that Gabe Newell or Rico.
Ricola!
And now, have one look The final image!
Wait, before you do the final image, you gotta play the second YouTube video in the description.
Alright. Click the link. Click it. Thank you.
Make sure you right-click it, open a new tab, or you won't get to see the image.
The final image! Alright, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this dramatic retelling of a incredibly dramatic tale.
Yes, thank you, Macaluso. I hope you enjoy Borderlands. I'm sure you will. It is a very good game. And
thank you, everyone who entered into our contest. We will attempt to do dramatic readings of all of them, if possibly. We can.
Just all of them would have been a long video, and this was kind of a last-minute thing. But I'm sure if we do more contests, they will be better prepared. We'll actually discuss them before we do them.
And by I'm sure that we might try and do more contests, he means we're going to do more contests?
Yes, we are going to do more contests.
So, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you for listening to Sharpest Hammers, and, bye-bye!
Goodbye, everybody.
Revolver!
Ricola! Ray Williams Johnson.
Hey, you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. And we upload every other day.
Yeah, you're just basically saying something like that in your own funny way, however
it is that comes out to be.